New shirt, who this? Yeah, I got this at PAX West. This is Sid from Final Fantasy Tactics. I saw it and I just had to have it. There was an Agrius one, a Ramza one, and a Sid one. And I think I got multiples. So yeah, anyway, I just got back from PAX West and things were super exciting, but I thought that the PAX West was going to be the most exciting news, but no, we have even more exciting news, and it's in regards to second chapter. It looks like it's happening, and I want to tell all y'all about it today, and I definitely do think that's worth sub, as you come and you join our party and you come on and level up with me. Your sub, your like, and your new hype helps me out a ton. Yeah, they have this new hype feature where you can hype a video and like, you know, I don't know, showcase it on the YouTube front page or whatever, which is really freaking cool. So thank you for your hype. Very cool. So, it says right here, if Trails in the Sky first chapter doesn't get a sequel, our fans will go, "You've gotta be kidding me." So the Nihon Falcom CEO said that on the future releases. This is straight from the horse's mouth. This is straight from Kondo talking about, hey, we have to do it. We are making Trails in the Sky second chapter. I kind of figured that they were going to do it anyway. Like, if you're going to make first chapter, like, they're one and the same. First chapter and second chapter, if you don't know, they were originally developed as one game, but it became way too large back in the day. I think it was like 2004 when it first came out, and it was just too large, and they had to end up splitting it into two different games. And they ended up splitting it at a pretty huge cliffhanger. Not gonna spoil anything here, but I'm just gonna say that if you play first chapter, you have to play second chapter, because the cliffhanger will just make your jaw drop onto the floor. So this is just really freaking cool. So this comes from an interview from Automation, and it says they recently got the opportunity to interview Nihon Falcon's president Kondo, who talked about the company's future plans, including, second chapter. So this is straight from Kondo. He says, since Trails in the Sky first chapter is a remake of the first Trails in the Sky, if we didn't follow it up with the remake of Trails in the Sky second chapter, people would go, "You've got to be kidding me." So we want to do a remake along the lines of Trails in the Sky second chapter. So yeah, it is coming. Back in 2004, we ended up keeping players waiting quite a while for second chapter after the release of Trails in the Sky's PC version. But this time, we want to avoid such a long gap. As for remakes beyond that, I would say it depends on fan demand. So we know that Falcom is putting out these Trails games it's like boom, 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 boom. We're getting them constantly. And because Trails in the Sky first and second chapter, they all take place in the same world. They all take place in Liberl, and they star kind of the same characters and things like that. It just makes sense that, they already built Liberl, they already built these characters, they already built a lot of the dungeons, they already did, 80% of the work. Now all they have to do is add in, different events, different, voices, different cutscenes, different things like that in order to make second chapter, because they're just going to reuse all those assets. But then he says, okay, so we're going to do first and second, but third? As for remakes beyond that, it depends on fan demand. I personally would love to see third and just go ahead and wrap up, the Sky trilogy with a nice, neat little bow. That to me would make sense, especially because Kevin is coming back in Trails Beyond the Horizon. At first, Kevin was just kind of there in third chapter, and then you really didn't see much of him. He came in here or there, little bits and pieces and stuff like that. But now he is taking like a starring role in Trails Beyond the Horizon, so it would make sense for them to do third chapter. And I kind of think that they're going to do third chapter anyway, but they're just kind of saying, hey, it depends on fan demand, in order for them to say, hey, bitches, y'all better buy first and second chapter, because if you don't, then we can hang this over your head. So I think it's going to happen, and I kind of think that they're also going to redo Zero and Azure as well, simply because those are so old, and they do need a remake, just in the same, because they were kind of built in the same engine as the first Sky game, so it just kind of makes sense for them to do Zero and Azure as well. I feel like Cold Steel and Beyond is pretty much, it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. So yeah, so I think that'd be really cool. So then he goes on to talk even more about remakes and things like that, and he talks about Trails Beyond the Horizon. He says that this game's coming out in January of 2026, and it is in a similar position to the first Trails of the Sky story-wise. So we are, of course, preparing a sequel. So he's basically saying, yeah, Trails Beyond the Horizon also ends on a massive, massive cliffhanger. I don't know what the cliffhanger is. I have no idea. I haven't played the game. It's not coming out until January. So there is going to be a sequel on it, and it says that that sequel is already being developed, and it's being developed in parallel with Trails in the Sky first chapter. But Nihon Falcom isn't ready to make a formal announcement about it quite yet. So it is in development. They are creating a sequel to Trails Beyond the Horizon, but we just don't know anything about that. Then he goes on to talk about his overall strategy for the Trails franchise development, and Kondo says, before depicting the series' climax in Kai no Kiseki, I wanted to remake the first Trails in the Sky. The Trails series has become something of a veteran-oriented franchise, which is the God's honest truth. And he says, and I don't want my staff to become too accustomed to just making sequels. Also, the Trails team has grown a little bit tired, so we felt we needed a step where we could recharge our batteries. So he's doing this in order to get more people into the Trails series. He's doing this to stop like the gatekeepiness of the Trails series, because man, there's a lot of gatekeepiness with the series. It's kind of ridiculous. And he's also doing this to kind of help out his team and say, hey, you know, you don't have to keep on doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. You know, we can step back, we can go back to a game that we grew up with, that we knew and loved, and, you know, we could have some fun with that. Then Kondo goes on to say, Nihon Falcom hopes to also put out more titles like Trails in the Sky the First, which can serve as an entry point for newcomers. The thing is, the Trails series is kind of wrapping up. He already said it was like 90% complete. He's talking about coming to the climax of the series. For him to talk about more entry points for newcomers to the series, I'm almost wondering if he's talking about the future of the Trail series. What's going to come after this Trail series, you know, the next Trail series, after Zemuria is 100% wrapped up? What's going to happen on a new continent or a new world or a new planet or a new dimension or whatever they're going to do with the Trail series? They're going to kind of reinvent that. And they're going to say, hey, we need more new entry points. You know, maybe we'll just have duologies in the future, not quadrilogies, because, you know, 4 Cold Steel games is quite a bit. But if you have a duology, it's much easier to get into. He then says, I think that both kinds of titles, those aimed at new players and those for longtime Trails fans, are something that the series can't survive without. So we're approaching a time when game development and sales methods will no longer work the way that they have in the past. So it is going to be trial and error for us, but we will do our best. And then he wraps up the interview right there. And oh my gosh, I am so excited, y'all. This is great, 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 great news. Love the Trails series. It is one of my favorites up there. So I am super stoked, super looking forward to this. But again, like I said, I kind of figured this was coming anyway, but now we have confirmation that yes, Trails in the Sky second chapter is getting a remake. But now I want to hear from y'all. What do you think with this news? What do you think that they're going to do with this Trails series as it does wrap up and as it does meet its climax? Do you think that Zero and Azure are going to get a remake? Sound off in the comments. Let me know. Be sure to like and hype the video. It helps me out a ton. And have a good day.